Low, low, low. Hi, my name is Raul, and I'm an addict. A lot of you guys might know me as like the program assistant or the phone snatcher, wherever you guys want to call me. And I just inform you guys, I'm just doing my job. Um, uh, with that being said, I've been in recovery for 3.5 years, and I'm sober. I started using when I was 14. The loss of my mother. I lost her at a young age. Really have anything or anywhere to go. Didn't have no supervision. Um, didn't have no guidance in my life at that time. So what I do, I go what everyone does is go to the homies and end up smoking weed, skateboarding. I was a skater, so I would smoke weed, drink, tag. From that point on, I got introduced to meth. Started using meth at a very young age. Started selling, willing and dealing. After a certain point in my life, that got kind of old and tiring. Going back to jail, I didn't think it was. I didn't want to go back to jail, so I started just using. I was like, hey, nothing's gonna hurt if I just use. That's what I would turn to. Sorry, I'm kind of nervous. Um, Um, so I started just using at a young age. Lost my father at 25, which I wasn't using meth at the time for 2 years, so I thought it was all good. I would just smoke weed and drink with my cousin, so I was sober. And then when my dad passed away, I kind of fell back into meth more and fell deeper into my addiction. At that point in time, I didn't know my higher power or knew anything of it. Didn't know what I know now, so I went through the motions and started just using frequently, very frequently. My tolerance was very high. I grew up in the city of Paramount, hung out in Compton as well. Um, didn't know anything about sponsorship, didn't know anything about surrendering to my higher power, which I know now. Let me see, cut through. Met my wife now. Met my wife, girlfriend at the time. Went through the domestic violence case. Lost my kids, DCFS. Went through the system. Still, that didn't do anything to help me to get sober. I still chose. I didn't know how to cope with that. I thought it was the system this, the system that, the system's out to get me, blah 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 blah. But yet I'm still holding the pipe in my hand, smoking, talking all this nonsense. Um, so at that point in time, what I do when they took my kids, went to go get high. How did I cope? I learned how to smoke my problems away. So I would do that. Um, After that, still using the process. My wife was pregnant again. She and well, we started going to church together. Me and my wife found out she was pregnant. We needed to get our act right. There was a brother at my church that really helped me to hold me accountable to a lot of things in my life, because I never had anyone to tell me straight out how it is or what I needed to hear. I always wanted to hear like, oh, it's okay, you're okay. It's because you're going through these things that you're doing it, so it's okay. I had a brother that would tell me straight out like, what you're doing is wrong, bro. Like you need to get your act right. A lot of us need that in our lives, to someone to be really, really honest with us, because that's the only way we start being freaking babied. We were so being fed and so much being like taken care of, like, oh, everything's all right. It's because you're going through these things. That's why you're acting that way. Sometimes we need to man up and start acting right. And we need accountability in our lives. So someone that holds accountable. What you guys have as a sponsor. A sponsor helps direct you guys and guide you guys. So you guys need to get one of those. In my addiction, my wife was pregnant at the time. She was supposed to go to we were supposed to go to a rehab together. She was supposed to go in her way, and I was supposed to go on my way. Being the person that I am, I end up making up an excuse and causing conflict, and end up not going to the treatment center. I end up finding an excuse not to show up. My wife, at the other hand, made the decision to continue on to doing what she was doing, and to get sober for the baby. So she did what she did. I ended up homeless. Well, I was still homeless at the time. So I was homeless, living on the streets for a year and a half before I actually got my act right. During COVID, I was getting high, um, running. Salud. Yeah, getting no, está bien. Getting high, not knowing what I'm doing. Donating friggin' plasma to get high. Donating plasma to get high, just to find that, I guess, to find that income to get what I needed. Um, what else? Yeah, so my wife got sober, I didn't, still running the streets, and sometimes that's what it takes in our lives. We have to hit rock bottom, that rock bottom in our lives that to make us act right. I guess being homeless and getting my kids taken away wasn't enough, so I kept on using. The second time around, my wife was pregnant with our son. That was the social worker came and she's like, "What?" I remember because I was very furious. She said, "What can I do? What can you tell me that will allow you to take your son home today?" And I was like, to be honest, you guys are playing chess when I'm playing checkers. You guys already know your guys' next move, and you guys know what you guys are gonna do before I can even do my move. And I was under the influence at the time with the piece in my pocket and dope in my pocket, and wondering why they're taking my kids away again. And at that time, that's when it finally hit me going home in the taxi with my wife. Not able to take my kids home. That was my rock bottom. So when I got out of the taxi that day, I remember grabbing the pipe, grabbing the dope. I broke it in the trash can like a dumpster, and said, "That's it. I'm done. I'm not going back." Like that was my rock bottom. So when that happened, I never went back. I never went back to dope or using. But I remember my wife's cousin was like, "Oh, you should have gave it to me," or her Nina. Her Nina was like, "You should have gave it to me, cousin." I was like, "Nah, like that's it. It's like it's that time. It's that point of time that really hit me that I was tired of the insanity, wanting different results, but doing the same things. That's insanity. So how can we come to that? You know, how can we get change? How can we want change in our lives if we're doing the same routine? I always tell the guys here like don't never give up. If I could be used, or if I could come the way I came out of, oh, thank you. If I could come out of what I've overcome and came out of, you guys can too. Sorry. Um, yeah, I ended up doing classes during COVID. I ended up doing classes of through online, through Zoom. Still around the situations at the area I was living because I was homeless. So I was still dealing with people using around me, people getting high. Hey, you're gonna go to rehab, just freaking might as well get super loaded. But that wasn't my desire. I wanted to get sober and with a strong head. Ended up going to Tarzana. Went to Tarzana for like a week. End up leaving because of circumstances that I did that I did. So I left there a week. What I go run to? I ran to the pipe. I ran back to where I knew what I knew best. Ran to go get high. Yeah, that was before my wife had the baby. And then when I did start getting sober, I ended up doing the program and doing what I needed to be done. Here you go. I still needed to do what I needed to do. Even though I was around it, certain situations, I learned through a program just like this one to where to have like a perfect balance in your recovery. It's all right to have boundaries, healthy boundaries. Even your old friends and old acquaintances or every old or your family. If you have like, it's good to have healthy boundaries in your lives, especially in your recovery. I've learned it's okay to push people away for the time being, so you can focus on yourself, because that's what it comes down to, focusing on yourself. The world's gonna continue to go forward, but you need to focus for you to get it right. You need to focus on yourself. Man, what else? So yeah, so I started doing the program. I remember one thing ticked me off. Someone got in my face and told me something about that I was only doing this because of some reason. So it really hurt me, to get like, you're only doing this because of something and something. So I had to call my wife when she was in a home. And I had to call her and let her know, like, man, I don't want to get high today. I don't want to get high today. I don't want to get high today. I had to keep repeating it to her, and I end up crying. And it's all right to cry for men, especially when you're going through things like that. I ended up calling my wife and telling her, like, hey, I'm not gonna get high. I'm not gonna get high. I'm not gonna get high. And she was just wondering, like, what's going on? What's going on? I'm like, so one of your cousins got me mad, really, really upset, and I want to go get high. I wanted to make an excuse to go get high. But that day I ended up not getting high. I ended up remaining sober. I just needed to call and let her know that I wasn't gonna get high that day. So after I ended up being doing the process of doing my classes, anger management, domestic violence, doing all those classes, I've learned, and through therapy, I've learned that I need to focus on myself, healthy boundaries, have someone to hold you accountable. I've learned also too that you need to come to surrenderance. Whatever you're going through, you need to surrender it to your higher power, whatever that is. You guys need to just focus on yourselves. Sorry, I keep repeating myself. So after that, I ended up getting me and my wife ended up getting, well, both of us, we ended up getting our kids back. Little by little, one by one, they all each started coming back. We have one more on the way to go to get back. Other than that, it's been a smooth ride ever since. And without with change, you have to learn that. I've learned this: change is your friend. My pastor always tells me that change is our friend. We get comfortable in the situations that we live in. Like it's easy to go outside and go get high. It's easy to do all that. There's no responsibility. I've learned there's no responsibility when you're out there running the streets. If it's those who have kids, it's harder when you guys get sober. When we get sober, we end up responsibility. We end up facing responsibility, and I could be honest and tell you guys it feels good to have some responsibility. It feels good to have my kids and having that I need to change what I say though. Yeah, it does. It feels good to have the responsibility. It's kind of a struggle sometimes buying the kids clothes, but it feels good that today I could be like, I have money I could put away for my kids. I could go buy my kids clothes. Oh, you need this? Bam, we got this. Well, groceries, we got groceries. It feels good to be like that in my recovery now. Because I've been at that place where we don't know, we're over there going to the pantry for trying to find out what we're gonna eat where they give out free food and stuff. I've been in those situations. I've been in we got the EBT. How are we gonna balance? We got 2 EBTs. My EBT, I'll tell you straight out, I used to use mine on straight up dope. My love. I would use, and now in my recovery, I was when I was getting high, I was selfish. I was ignorant. I was a narcissist. I was what else? About help me. she can give me the names. She has more names. Hey, no, but I was a jerk. I was a jerk. There's plenty other cuss words I could use that I was, but I'm not gonna say them. And those were those things that I came to acceptance that that's what I am and that's what I was. Was not am. I was. Sometimes it could be a jerk. What else? Let me get a drink of water. I don't have a timer. No. 30 minutes. Huh? 30 minutes. How long has it been? 30 minutes. It's been 30 minutes? No. No, but what can I say?
It's only been 15, right?
Oh crap. Okay. Yeah. So and it's a trip. It's a small world when you come to recovery too. Because I'm gonna use this. I know Manny from elementary school, and it's a trip seeing him here. And I told him whatever he's doing here, there's a purpose to it. Continue to do what he's doing. And that's how we have to do when you come to recovery too, is don't shame anybody. If they come back from whatever they're coming fiasco they're coming back from, don't ever shame them. Acknowledge them and greet them as you would, because you could be that person. And sometimes that's mostly what it is. I've learned it's the guilt that doesn't want to bring me to recovery. It's that guilt, that shame that people are going to make fun of me and so and so. At the end of the day, you're here for yourself. At the end of the day, you're here for your own recovery. So whether you come back or not, just pick yourself up and get back on that ride, because you're on that ride by yourself. Just like how Manny was sharing earlier too. I'll piggyback off of it. You can't, at the end of the day, you do it for yourself. Yeah, you do it. You can't do it for I've learned that too. You can't do it for your family or nothing, because at the end of the day, we've let them down before, our family, and we'll do it again. We let our own selves down every day. I had to learn that. I was like, I'm gonna do it for my kids. I'm gonna do it for my family, so and so. And then what ends up happening? I get let down, and I'm like, man, I messed up, and then I go harder. I go hit the pipe harder, or do what I gotta do harder. So you have to want it for yourself. You have to want that recovery for yourself, and everything that comes along with it comes. Working here at Fred Brown, I've learned, even the first day when I came here, I've learned that they're very open and very opening to listening to you guys. But you're only gonna get enough in your recovery with them as much as you put in. So if you're kind of like not putting in, being honest in your recovery, you're robbing yourself. You're robbing your guys' self from your recovery. And this program is here to help you guys. But if you're willing to acknowledge it and put all your efforts into your recovery and being honest with them, they're willing to give you the same 100% back. That's what they're here for. Your counselors, your case managers, be very, very open with them, because from my understanding, they're here to help you. And from me seeing what they're doing, they're here to help you guys. So don't be afraid to ask any questions or anything from what I learned. How long do I got?
Five more minutes.
Huh?
Try
5 more minutes?
5 more.
Come on, phone snatcher.
No, phone snatcher?
Who took your phone?
Nobody took my phone. So I only can share. I tried to share with the guys here as much as I can. The only thing I can share is from what I'm going through. I can't share anymore, because how can I take you to places I have never been? But the places I have been, I can give you an understanding of it. From sleeping in, like when I was homeless, I was sleeping behind a dumpster with my wife in the rain, trying to find shelter, hitting that rock bottom, getting a bed or something, putting pallets on the floors, making a little hut until we upgraded to a tent. And to be honest, I still have that tent. I still have the tent, and it's not to say, oh, I'm going back just in case I go back. It's to know where I came from.
That's right.
It's in my trunk. I have it to remember, like, dang, like I know where that path leads. That's why I keep pushing forward. People often say, like, oh man, you don't I don't work step. That's in the back of my head, is living in that tent, homeless, because when I get high, I get high. I'll probably end up clucking my cars. I'll start, when I get high, I get high. How would when I get high, I end up high. I end up hurting my sisters. It went to a certain point where my sisters were like, we love you, brother, but you're only able to shower, and we're gonna feed you. We're not giving you money, and we're not gonna let you sleep over. Why? Because you're toxic. You end up stealing from us. You end up taking off, and it kind of hurt too. My sister, one day when I was coming down, that's the place I would go to come down at. So I would come down, no more dope, no more. I'm done on my run. I'll go to sleep for from Friday to Sunday. Monday she'll go to work, and then Monday she would come back, and I would be gone. That was a routine. And it kind of hit me one day when she was like, "Oh crap, you're still here?" On a Monday, I'm like, "Yeah, I'm still here. Is it all right?" And she's like, "Yeah, just usually you're gone already." And I was like, "Oh crap!" Like, dang, she noticed my freaking routine. And I didn't even notice that's how so messed up in the head I was on the dope. I didn't even see my own routine. she seen my routine and she was like, man, yeah, you could stay, I'm just, I don't know, you're usually gone already. You're running the streets again. So that kind of hit me, and then I ended up taking that the wrong way, and I ended up going back on the streets again also. Um, now my relationship with my sisters is back to where it is. They still do what they need to do. Along my healthy boundaries is that I don't allow that in my home, because I know in my home is my home. That's mine and my wife's domain. That's our place. So my sisters might drink occasionally on the holidays. They do that. I tell them it's not welcome in my house. So that's my boundary. That's my healthy boundary. Anything there that is not accepted in my house. We go to your house, okay, I'll go with the flow with you guys. After a certain time, I'm out of here. And that's a healthy boundary. And they had to ask me too, is it gonna trigger me from drinking? I said, no, I'm good. I know if that's what you guys want, that's what you guys want. If me, I already have my eyes are on a different prize. My eyes is to grow more, to get a better understanding of things. And I tell people, I remember, I forgot, someone asked me, like, when did I ever stop getting the cravings? It took me a year and a half to get the cravings. But the key things I did was any numbers you guys have in your phone, like the dope dealer, the old friends that get high, get rid of all those numbers. I'm not saying to do it. I'm just saying what helped me was get rid of all those numbers, because at the end of the day, what are they there for? To get high. Just get rid of all of them, no matter if they are, even if they're your family, get rid of them. Focus on yourself. Get someone that holds you very, very accountable, that you could call when situations comes, because they will come, where situations where you're gonna break down and you're gonna not know what to do or not know where to turn. It's easy to turn that way to the drugs. Call somebody that's gonna steer you the right way, and that you call and then pick you up and have dinner or lunch with, or even coffee. If you guys drink coffee, have a cup, whatever is gonna help you maintain from not going that other direction, because that's the direction that we're always used to. We're always used to turning this way and going to wherever, walk around the streets. I'm pretty sure you walk around the streets here, you can find whatever you want. You need to have that person that you're able to call 911, basically like 911 number, boop. This person is gonna answer the phone and he's gonna take me out of my situation and guide my mind, because that's where it begins at. It begins in the mind as well. So with that, and then you need to just hold each other accountable here too. With those that are in treatment and those that really want the desire, you see someone struggling, help them. Help them. You guys are here together. You guys are focusing on your own little battle, on your own little walk, on your walk of life, but you guys need to equip each other and help each other as well. Because you can share, me sharing with you guys could help somebody. What you have to share with somebody else that lives with you guys, you live with each other, they could help someone too. You don't want to rob anybody from the recoveries as well. How many long I got? Who's it, Manny? No, I'm not. Yeah, no, but what else?
2 minutes then. Let's
Nah,
do 2. Why not? What do you do in your community?
What do I do in my community? Oh, good. Oh, so in my community, I serve at my church. I go to, because I lived in Paramount. I'm faithful to my church. So I get there every Sunday at 7 in the morning. I'm at church. What am I doing? I'm setting up the whole outside of our church. And I do that not to be like, oh, look at me. I do because a lot of people do. I do it because that's my home. My church is my home. That's where I found where I call home. My church is my second home. So I go there faithfully. I've been serving there 3.5 years, ever since I got sober. And I enjoy doing it. I know in the recovery it says to serve wherever you needs to be in service. Serve at the local clubs or wherever. It keeps you busy and it keeps you on the straight path. What else? Another question. Oh, another question. That was easy. Yeah. So I serve at my church. I'm always available to serve. So whenever there's service, I'm always there. That always comes first to me. Church always comes first for me and my family. What else?
What do you love about your job at Pedro the most?
Mine? Nah. Taking sometimes it is. No, what I love the most is the people. The people to be in an environment that's recovery. Just I would like to share with like how I'm doing now. Share with you guys the little wisdom that I know that I've overcome, and just let you guys know that give you guys hope because if I could do it from like, and I've had a job before, working, getting high, drinking, being a functioning, how you say, alcoholic user. I was doing that, and it took certain situations where I just went through the motions, and it took me to be homeless to really and lose everything to freaking hit me in the face to accept what I needed to do. That I had a problem. What,
Your favorite client?
I don't have the. Is that it? Nah, you guys are all good. No, you guys are all good. It's just we have our days. We have our days. I'm just like you. I have days, and I acknowledge. I have to acknowledge it too. I can't bring that stuff home. I can't bring my whatever I'm going through here to you guys because that's unfair to you guys. That'd be totally unfair to you guys. And when I catch myself, I had to acknowledge and apologize. Yeah. That's it. All right. Yeah.